everybody, welcome to another Corey B MTG video. I know it's been a while as my standard daily video series has ended, but of course I will be back with that here at some point once we get into Aether Drift. But for now, my focus has been on Modern as the regional championships all across the world are coming up, and I wanted to bring a specific video for YouTube here on everything that there is about Temur Breach, and what I think is the very best deck that you can be playing at your regional championships. By the time you're seeing this, the first batch is European and Canadian, as far as Ottawa and Prague, I believe, are the first two. But I plan to adjust this deck list as needed when it comes to looking forward to the next regional championships and keep the content on Temur Breach ready to go for all of y'all playing your regional championship. Now, I won't be playing mine, but if I was, you sure as hell better believe I would be playing this exact same 75. And I gotta say, it is quite sad. Sad is a weird way of putting it, but kind of sad that I am commentating these in the US instead of playing them. I genuinely thought about it, but at the end of the day, commentating Magic the Gathering tournaments is what I love to do the most, and I hope that shows within my coverage. But that's the reason I won't be putting my money where my mouth is and playing, even though I did qualify. So, Temur Breach, for anyone new to the deck, we are trying to combo Underworld Breach here with Grinding Station. Nice little zoom feature for our deck text here. We'll be turning that off in the match, but for now, it's actually pretty cool. And then one of our zero drops, either Mox Amber or Mox Opal, grinding out our whole deck, milling ourselves over and over again until we eventually find our win con, which is Grape Shot. Other decks can play Thassa's Oracle, and I think it's totally reasonable. Grape Shot my opponent with a high storm count, sometimes cast it twice from the graveyard now that we have the ability to add red mana thanks to Mox Opal over and over and over again, win the game that way. That's plan A, but the reason that Temur Breach is such an incredible deck is plan A is not the only way to win. So when people are targeting this deck, which is totally now, by the way, it's getting very targeted. It's getting the respect it finally deserves as the best deck in my opinion, but Boros Energy, of course, competing with it as well. Those are the two S-tier decks when it comes to the regional championships. Everything else is a tier below, in my opinion. Sorry, Frog gamers, but yeah, it's not quite there. That's the third best deck, but it's firmly in tier 1, in my opinion. But the other plan B is you just get to play incredibly powerful one-drops in the form of Tamiyo. Emery most of the time is kind of a one-drop as well for card advantage. And you get to take over the game with gigantic constructs, as this is an incredible Urza Saga deck. And Urza Saga being one of the best cards in Modern, one of the best cards in Legacy. I mean, this is just one of the best Magic cards ever printed. Like, it's that good. Another product of Modern Horizon, no matter how you feel about that. It's here, and it's here to stay. So we utilize this better than any other deck in Modern. So, outside of that, let's see. What else do we got as far as new things? We're, of course, playing Mishra's Bauble. That helps with our artifact count for Mox Opals. Some of the interesting flex slots for me are Spell Snare and Preordain. Preordain, I think, is the worst card in the deck, if I'm being honest, and I really wish there was something I could replace it, but Preordain used to be the One Ring, our mega card advantage engine, and boy, do I miss it, as I honestly think with the One Ring that this was a better deck, and it was better in the metagame. It just was not being played. People just didn't want to play anything besides Boros Energy, but I truly think with the One Ring in this deck, it was the best deck in the format, and I'd been screaming it from the mountains for years. Literally years, I've been playing this deck, and I've thought it's the best deck. Once Scam got banned, once Grief got banned, it was Breach's time to be the best deck, and it kind of shows. So, outside of that, Spell Snare, I'm actually closer to 3 Spell Snares than just 2. The one reason why I only have 2 in the deck is because all these regional championships are open deck list, and Spell Snare ends up getting a lot worse. So if you're playing this deck online, I think playing 3 is totally fine, as, it's an incredibly powerful card. Very good in the mirror. I mean, look at all of our 2s. Hitting Breach, hitting Rumble. That's the main thing, but that's enough. Hitting those is really big, as well as in Boros Energy. I mean, you hit their whole deck, basically. Ajani, Goblin Bombardment, plenty of other stuff as well. Thraben Charm, which they're main decking. ends up being awesome. If you combo off while you're comboing with Breach and you have a Spell Snare in the yard and they try to destroy your Breach, you get to snare from the yard. Like, granted, they should just exile your graveyard probably at that point, but you can play around that while having a grinding station in your hand. Other flex slots, Unholy Heat, not necessarily the most amazing card right now, but I think it's very needed at dealing with Karn, dealing with other creatures in Breach, and as well as slowing down Boros Energy. I've seen lists that cut Unholy Heat altogether. I'm not a fan of that. I really think once you do that, you're a better all-in combo deck. Agreed. You know, I'm not arguing that fact, but you're a much less well-rounded deck, and when things aren't going perfectly, which... it's Magic. You don't just draw a Breach, a 0-drop, and grinding station in your top 10 cards every time. Sometimes you got to keep a hand without those. You don't draw into them. That's Magic, baby. Sorry to steal that line from Numa. But Unholy Heat allows you to play a long game and in turn makes cards like Urza Saga much better because, well, you get time to activate and make constructs turn after turn where if you're getting beat down, they're flipping a Johnny's and stuff, you're dead. You're just dead. Other flex slots, Haywire Might, one of the worst cards in the deck too, as, you know, the targets for it have gone down. This was an auto main deck card with the One Ring around because exiling that was incredible, but it has gotten worse, and this is a card I have considered moving to the sideboard. No matter what I wanted in the 75, but there's still enough targets that I'm hanging it around. And then Soul Guide Lantern's actually awesome. Great in the mirror, great against Flage, good against Oculus, good against all random graveyard BS. Then we got Malevolent Rumble. If I could cut the Preordains and play 7 Malevolent Rumbles, I would. I mean, this is the card, so it's incredible. You know, does everything in the deck. Be able to find your combo pieces, get a Scion to kind of make this card cost 1, as well as let you ramp for the next turn, so it enables a lot of turn 3 combos, as well as fills your graveyard for Breach. Now we'll talk about the sideboard here. First up, Consign. This is very true and obviously a card for Eldrazi. Also good against Cascade decks. But very much an Eldrazi card. Eldrazi goes from being a rough-ish matchup and pretty rough game 1. You know, rough in the sense where they're favored maybe 60%, 60-40. But then post-board when you have 4 Consign, like, it flips. We're favored 65-35 or so. Urza's back, and let me tell you, I think this is going to be a very controversial card in this list, as, you know, it is not necessarily stocked by any means, and I actually really like it right now because there is so much graveyard hate. There's so much graveyard hate, there's so much Breach hate, and when your opponent is trying to hate your graveyard and your combo strategy out a lot, what cards get better? Your mid-range plan. Urza is the best mid-range card, better than Kappa Cannoneer in my opinion, but they're close. I think Kappa is not, you know, embarrassing, but I do think Kappa, you know, both involves a high density of artifacts to cast, so sometimes it can be uncastable, and you need artifacts to continue pressuring, where Urza creates 2 good bodies, will win the long game anyways, and yeah, I elaborate in my guide that I'm going to talk about in a little bit as well. Jace is that secondary win con. I think it's very needed. Whip Flare for Boros, Veil for the Frogs, and Flame of Anor as this 15th card sideboard flex slot. Whenever you need to take some extra cards out of the board and you just don't know what to bring in, 3-mana Divination that sometimes can do 2 things is perfectly reasonable. So, as I was saying about my guide, I really should have had this prepared, but I have an incredible guide. And, you know, I want to stress that I actually think this one is really good. I put a lot of time into it. There'll be a link below. I have 8,184 words on Breach with a article, sideboard guide, the top 13 matchups, tips and tricks for new players, and a lot of stuff that has to do with open deck list and how to approach the matchup there. And, you know, just to say, I go in deep on all these matchups, and it's a really good read. I also have just the sideboard guide if you are interested in, you know, you don't need all the words. Let's say you feel pretty good about it. You just want to know the ins and outs. I have that as well in the description. So if you are considering taking this to your regional championship, or you just want a little help winning a modern challenge, something like this, I very much recommend my sideboard guide and article. And of course, these videos would not be made possible without my sponsors. First up, KMC. KMC Sleeves is, you know, an industry leader in the sleeve company, as well as diving into deck boxes here with this Mox Luxury deck box you see next to me. They have Hyper Phoenix sleeves, Hyper Mats, all these kind of incredible sleeves from KMC. And now this new product. So if you're interested in any KMC product, top left-hand corner, we'll give you that promo code, and then I'll have a URL below if you're interested in checking out some KMC sleeves. Love those guys over there. Great stuff. Thanks, KMC. And next up, our other sponsor here for the stream, that's Heavy Play. Incredible people that work over there, and they make some incredible futuristic products, you know? I mean, when I think of who's trying to innovate in the world of Magic accessories, Heavy Plays comes to mind immediately. Of course, KMC with the new deck box as well, but I mean, Heavy Play truly is making unique stuff that you just don't see from anybody else. ETB playmat, you know, the magnetic playmat, all this stuff that you see behind me is all magnetic and works together. Magnetic dice box is low-key my favorite thing. I know it's maybe more of the minor products, but I think it's incredible. So we got all this stuff that works together. They have the curved edges sleeves as well. And they have these new ETB playmats with featured artists on them. Right now, Phil Stone is the main one, but of course, they will be doing some more work in the future. So big thanks to our two sponsors, KMC and Heavy Play. So, all right, let's battle. Started. Let's see what we got. And naturally, I start with the land that I hate the most in the deck with the Thundering Falls. Still think this hand is perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable, but it would have been incredible with an untapped land here. Still for sure gonna keep. Still a good hand. Just a little awkward. But who knows, you know? I mean, maybe they had a turn 1 sorcery speed removal that we really got to just dodge here. So second Urza Saga is decent, as, you know, we could definitely be construct planning here. But I don't think it's truly needed. I would rather have a different land. Now, as far as if I want to play these 0 drops, I actually don't think I want to let them know yet. I'm sure there'll be some things that would punish me, but the obvious stuff of like hand disruption, you know, sure, they can hand disrupt my Mox or whatever. Okay, so easily could be the mirror, for instance. So I'm going to start with this. Now, I am going to play my Tamiyo and then preordain with the Mox and see what we hit. See if they maybe want to kill this. So, the Bauble is actually not terrible. I'm going to get rid of the grinding station. We don't need it yet. I'm going to keep the Bauble around. This will allow me to play the Bauble, play the Mox, and have Spell Snare available for a 2-drop, as well as playing Urza Saga, and I don't have to play the island. So I think that's pretty nice. That was kind of why I didn't play a land yet, as there was a solid chance that I had to play the island, because I'm guessing this is probably the mirror, you know? I mean, that's kind of the world we live in now. It is just becoming that popular. I'm 2-0 in this league to start 2-0-4-0, no big deal. But the last match I played against was the mirror as well. It's here to stay. So, if this is Rumble, oh, okay, I'll shut up. I was like, if this is Rumble, you know, we're cooking. So, one thing this could be is the, whatchamacallit? The command. But I don't think I can do much to that anyways. And I already can do something next turn. So I'm going to Bauble, see what's up. These lands look a little different, don't they? They really do. Magic Online, of course, has a extreme leg issue right now, which makes this deck a little tougher to play. And it's kind of frustrating, but that's okay. So Exiles, gets a Scion. No problem. We knew that was a possibility, so. Okay, now we have a Breach. So we put a grinding station on the bottom, but that is totally fine. Now it's a question of what do we want to do here? And I think it's pretty simple here. Make a construct, spell snare that talisman if they go for it, and be on our way. Try to stumble into the combo at some point. And make the construct turns on Metalcraft, of course, but they might have bigger plans. Okay, I'm glad that they did this. Was this the one we saw? That was not the one we saw, but we're still, of course, going to do this. As Spell Snare is as close to dead in this matchup as it gets, this is one of the very few matchups where it's not good. We'll get to show the power of consigns here in the post-board games as well. Opponent LOL'd to that. All right. Now, since we don't really have anything going on, unfortunately, we will Saga. Now, this could easily be the Eldrazi version. I'm actually going to do the Magic Online trick a bit. And, you know, take this as you will. I don't love that it's a thing, but if you ever look on, you know, Google and you type in the name plus MTGO, you can kind of see the last decks they played. And I would assume it's not this. Yeah, no, not this. They played an Eldrazi Tron before this. And see what kind of version they're playing. You know, looks like the Karn version. Would this be the same thing? Probably not. You know, there's different talismans. So the one thing I'm looking out for is what could be Emrakul. So if there's an Emrakul, I think I would rather get a Lantern here than anything else. Guess I could get Haywire Might. Haywire Might's okay, but I think I'd rather draw a card here. So I'm going to get a Lantern. Now, I can draw a card with that later, but for now, I'll discard the card that's 2 types. Keep them away from Emrakul as much as I can. Now, I could Breach and play a Bauble. Not worth it yet. I would rather just attack for 6. Next turn is 12, so that's 18. So I actually have lethal next turn with Breach, bring back Baubles, so they have to do something to these. So that means I'm not going to sack anything and get too aggressive. Just make them deal with the constructs, or the constructs here, and try to win the game this way. As here's our plan B in action, you know? So right now they have 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, the other command would have only been up to 10 for Emrakul, so it still would have been pretty far away. But we'll see if they got anything to deal with these, or if this is just going to solo the game. We also are going to get our Hedge Maze here. Wow, that is annoying. Okay. These don't just maximize anymore. They do that now, huh? Okay. Well, it looks kind of cool, actually. Wonder if that's a factor to the leg. Who knows? I'm not in charge of decisions. I just drink my coffee and play my games and talk to y'all. A Rumble. Okay. So Rumble, of course, a great card in their deck. They have a World Breaker, a Null Drifter, 4, 5, 6. They already played a land, though, so actually that's going to be a little backbreaking for them, I would imagine. So there is that. Okay, so they do have a blocker now. So we will have to find a way to clear the blocker, otherwise they get to survive. So we know their last card is World Breaker. So let's either try to combo or put ourselves in a position where we can draw Unholy Heat and win the game. So we're going to start by Hedge Mazing, see what we find. We have a lot of outs to win. Mountain is not one of them. So now we think about, do we Bauble? Bauble would put this down to 10 power. And if we drew an Unholy Heat, we could still go Breach, Unholy Heat the Scion, have 2 5/5s, gotta get 2 artifacts in play, could play them both from the yard. So that is an option. So if that's the case, we can sack the Bauble and still win. We know they're going to draw land. And the other quick consideration is sacking the Lantern, which we can't do right now. So we got 2 outs to win on the spot. Okay. Okay. So more outs. Let's start by rumbling. That was not ideal. Now we have Emery. Emery to be able to dig for Grinding Station. I suppose we can do it like this. Let's see what basics we have for, or which colored mana. We have a Stomping Ground, so we can pretty safely do this. Get Stomping Ground off this. This is pretty free since it turns on Mox Amber. And now we want to find a grinding station. Damn. Okay, there is Unholy Heat, though. Is that enough? I think that is enough. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's all we needed. Okay, we had so many outs. Because we just have to mill it over. But we did need enough cards in graveyard, so let's see. We get to go like this. We get to go Breach. Now we get to go Unholy Heat on the Scion. Exile 1, 2, 3. And now bring back the 2 artifacts, bobble, and win the game. Wow, this leg is unacceptable, though. Truly unacceptable. Disappointing, because Daybreak and Magic Online team have done a lot of great things, but man, this is not cool. So here is the 14 damage, and we win the game. Okay, great. Our opponent said perfection. Why, thank you. Why, thank you, my friend. Why, thank you, my friend. Okay, so now we gotta obviously make this smaller. What is going on? This is my first time I've played since the update. So, little off, so bear with me. Gotta get everything back to normal size. Okay, I'm gonna go off my sideboard guide. You know, and of course you can make changes as you will. But I want to, you know, kind of give you a little glimpse on what the guide is. And, you know, what I address and what I think is good and stuff. So, I like the consigns. I like the Jace. I like the Boseiju. Like one of them. And then I take out the Soul Guide Lantern. I might bring this back in as I think this is the Emrakul version. It's just a vibe. We didn't really get any indication that it is. Spell Snares are the worst cards because they hit the talismans like we saw, but that's about it. Otawara is not our great land if we're going to bring in a land. And then a Preordain as just being the worst card in our deck. One thing I like to do in this matchup is turn into a Tamiyo control deck. Just be able to land an early Tamiyo, leave up Consign, or sack a Clue if I don't use the mana. That's kind of my favorite thing to do. Now, am I interested in a Soul Guide Lantern? And what would I take out? Probably a Grinding Station. Could also take out a land since I'm on the draw. Take out my Thundering Falls. I think they could be the Karn version, so I'm going to leave in the Unholy Heats. Worst case scenario, you can just cantrip with it, so it's not the biggest deal, but Emrakul really does mess us up. Kind of. I mean, we do have consigns. I'm going to go without it and stick to my guide for now, but we'll see if I regret not having the Soul Guide Lantern. All right. Game 2. Okay. So, this can be a solid consign draw where we have a little bit of disruption with the Boseiju. Overall, though, very weak. We also have 2 tap lands and a Mox Opal, which isn't doing much. I think we can do better, but it's reasonably close because this is our best card. But I'm going to mulligan. And this is worse. This is for sure worse, but I am going to keep because we can get a Surveil land into Rumble, and then most of our problems are gone. Plus, we can combo pretty quickly with this. I'm going to put away the win con and see what we can do here. I think I would have rather kept the 7 on this, if I'm being honest, but we'll see if we get run over here. And there's a world where I should still mull to 5 with having 2 Mox Ambers still. If I would have known that was my top, I probably would have, but that's okay. We got plenty of draws still. AKA 2 looks. 2 looks to play Magic, otherwise we just do not play Magic, unfortunately. That is kind of the one disadvantage of bringing in a second win con in a lot of matchups, is drawing them, you know? But there is a lot of ways that they exile cards in our graveyard, relics, that kind of thing, so it's not really worth it to get caught with our pants down, so to say. All right. Let's turn this into a hedge maze. See what we got. Okay, we'll keep that. Pretty nice. Okay, now we want to flip over a grinding station and try to win the game next turn. We did not do such a thing. Now it comes down to, do we want the Tamiyo or do we want a land? Tamiyo actually adds more mana for us. So Tamiyo is the only way that we maybe cast Jace next turn. I'm going to go for it. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah. Tamiyo would be the only way we cast Jace next turn, so I'm going to try it. And we'll go from there. We would still need a land off the top, but a grinding station would also do it. And there's a chance we just go for it. Breach, try to bring back some rumbles, and go to town. We also need a land for that too, to be honest. So we are behind. We need our opponent to not have, you know, an amazing draw here, essentially. Or hope our Unholy Heat interacts, which... pretty far away from Delirium as well. Okay. I mean, Unholy Heat here is going to look okay. Our Rumble was actually pretty bad when it comes to being able to heat here, but that's okay. We kind of want them to destroy our Mox here. Yeah, nice. All right. So... now, we need to find a way to get one more type in there, which is going to be kind of hard. Okay. Tilt. That will help. That will help. All right, so I got a plan. I'm going to say go, and I'm going to hope they get a little careless here and cast something before they activate Karn, as... yeah, I still probably wouldn't be able to interact in such a way, but we'll see what happens. We could consign whatever they play, and then heat the Karn, you know? And then we'll be unlocked. We'll be able to do some stuff. Now, we could consign the ability from Karn, I think, right? Triggered ability. That's probably not a triggered ability. Regardless, we wouldn't want to do it if we can. I'm not 100%, as it's almost never correct to do, but... now, one thing we can do is, if they did play something like a World Breaker, we could have countered the ability, and while the creature's still on the stack, then kill the Karn. Obviously, not the biggest thing that could actually happen. I almost don't care about the Stone Brain. Nah, they could hit Breach and it would be the worst. So let's counter that. Ooh, what do you got? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But honestly, not completely game-breaking here. But it is bad. As I'm sure they're going to take Breach. Now, I think we can still Unholy Heat to start. And we'll try to win the game some other way. Breach would be the smartest hit for them, I think. But maybe they hit Grave Shot thinking it's my win con. It's almost always Breach is what they should do, but we'll see. We have other plans, yep. What do I get, like a zombie or something? I draw a card? Okay, not bad. Okay, and we already... Oh, it draws your card immediately, huh? Okay, so we got Emery now. We can do some nice stuff still. So let's play Tamiyo. And let's play Emery. And hope for the best. Hope that we can value win this game. You know, there is ways that we can mill ourselves out and still win with Jace. There's ways to win the game still. But, of course, if they put pressure on us in a way, then we're in trouble. Utopia Sprawl, Utopia Sprawl, Utopia Sprawl, and Misty Rainforest. Do you want a Sprawl or one of your many, you want one of your many Sprawls or one Misty? Okay, takes the land. Yeah, ultimating Tamiyo, also a thing that we can do. That helps us mill ourselves out naturally by drawing a bunch of cards. Alting Tamiyo is like if we can ever get that going, it's an easy way to win, but it's not easy to do, I'll tell you that. Is this a Carnarito? A command? Oh. Okay. That's not great for us. We'll let them have their fun. But I don't think there's anything we can do to that. Yep. What they should do is attack Emery, block, sack the spawn, cast Rumble, pick nothing, sack the spawn, say go. That's the worst play that could happen for me. Oh, I like to watch it happen. This will be fun. Yeah, not a thing I can do about this anymore. We are 100% dead. I just want to see if they do it right. They've already seen my deck, so there's no point in concealing information. Just grasping how good my opponent is. They should hit okay, get nothing, sack the Scion, say go. Nope, this is better actually. Yeah, you play the Misty, sack, lose a life, fail to find. Yeah, if they hadn't already seen my deck, that was nice. Then I would have conceded, you know, but cool, cool. All right, well, we know it's the Emrakul version. We know there's still Karns, though, so we do need to keep track of that, but it's not the best plan. So I think I might want to preordain. Honestly, I'm not seeing any artifacts that really mattered. It's like the Stone Brain, like, but they just had more counter spells. I think we can probably go without the Haywire Mite. Something like Trinisphere or something would be bad for me, of course, but with the way that they boarded, I don't think they have it. So I'm going to take a judgment call here and take out the Mite. But that might be a mistake. Yeah, let's try it. On the play. Okay. Do we have a keeper here? Ugh. Not very good. We're already kind of on the mulligan with 2 Moxes. Having a win con is kind of like a mulligan, and grinding station is kind of like a mulligan. So yeah, we can't keep this hand. This hand is really bad. This one we can keep. Yeah, this one's actually very good. So we get to keep, we get to put back grinding station, and we have a solid start here. So let's first start with my favorite start, which there's a lot of them now. Turn 1 Emery. Now let's see what we hit. So we hit a Mox. I'm gonna say go. I might not crack this bauble, as we can bring back the Mox, turn on the Opal, and play Boseiju. Like, we can have 4 mana next turn, depending on what they do. Okay. Okay, so I'm glad we have the Boseiju, but we can't bring anything back right now. So the real question is, do we want to try to bobble here to try to find a green source? I think we have to, otherwise we do nothing here. Or we can just play the Boseiju, but that's not great. So yeah, let's do this. Emrakul on top, good to know about. Okay, so that is good. That is also good. Okay, so now we can just heat it. That is much better. Now kind of awkward as we cannot rumble, but that's okay. So let's go like this. Red, green. Jailer is a card we always got to be wary of. Heat. Now let's bring back Bobble. Once again, we might not sack it. Now, there is some world that we do want to sack it to try to find a consign if we're afraid of something. But I'm not super afraid of anything yet. K-Command doesn't really do anything yet. So yeah, we'll just say go. We'll allow them, you know. I mean, we'd have to get lucky to hit one of the consigns anyways. That was a pretty nice sequence. Drawing Tarn and Heat there was much better than Boseiju to give them a land. K-Command. So they just get to draw a card, right? So maybe they don't have a land? Okay. So Mystical Dispute is the card they're representing, so I'm not going to sack the Bobble. Okay. Now we can Rumble to start. If they have Spell Snare, that'd be weird, but not much we can do about it. Okay, we can take a Breach. Can't win yet. Now, there's a world where we don't want to play our Boseiju, which is probably the case. Now, let's... I don't need the mana off the Mox, so let's just double Bobble here. Let's see what they're going to draw. 4 types already. 4, 5, 6, 7. They are going to hit a land. I could Boseiju them so they don't hit the land, but maybe that's not the biggest deal right now. For sure bringing back a Bobble. Guess I don't have red mana available right now. But once again, I think that's okay. All right, we'll say go. I guess one thing that is bad for me here, yeah, maybe this was wrong. One thing that's bad for me is if they go Karn Crypt and just immediately crypt me. Then I don't have the ability to heat it. Could be bad. Okay. Now we might try to go for it next turn. Oh, they could bog me. Shoot. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we're not going to go for it next turn, I'll tell you that. But nothing out of our graveyard is, like, detrimental yet. And that's why another reason to keep the bauble around. So now we're gonna do this so we can try to find a grinding station to win, which there are still many in the deck. Okay. No such luck. But we got this. We got this. We got this. And now is the question, do we want to sack any baubles now to try to find a consign? I don't think so because we can't cast it. So sacking this will allow them to have 5 types, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they are getting close, but they're not there yet. So with that being the case, I'm going to say go. Now we can Besage You or Heat, whatever they have. No problem about this 3 damage. Now we could try to flip Tamiyo next turn as well, which I probably will do, actually. There's a Rumble. Okay. Well, not much we can do about that. 2, 3, 4, 5. 11. 12. They're up to 12 already. They got very close to being able to cast this. 6 types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got the Karn. Okay, so we got to sack stuff now. We could be in trouble here. Because we're not hellbent. Another Karn on top, but honestly, we might have to Besage You that away. Okay. Ah, dang it. I clicked through. I should have Besage You'd. Whoops. Okay, that's helpful. That's also helpful. That's also helpful. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to tick this up. Preordain makes 2 types. The land makes 3. So we do need to put something in the yard to be able to heat. Okay, how's the best way to maximize this? I think it's still just Preordain to start. Maybe I shouldn't have flipped so I could Legend Rule. Preordain. Artifact plus Consign. Artifact doesn't help. A Consign is good, but it doesn't help us right now. So definitely not this. What am I looking for? Yikes. I think I'm going to put this at bottom. I think we got to find something else. Another Tameo. Okay. I'm gonna, yeah, we only got one play here, and it's not great. It is bobble, get this in play, and play defense against their Emrakul and stuff. Now, I could Besage You away the land. That's probably what I should do. And then have Consign for 2. Okay. Hope they search, because that gets rid of the Karn anyways. Yep. Card on top. Don't love that, but we gotta say go. Let's hope I have a Steam Vent. Uh-oh. Well, I got a breeding pool at least. It's gonna be a tough game. Okay. Have to let that hit. Uh-oh. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we can beat the Emrakul, but we can't beat Emrakul plus Dispute. So if they sack the Eldrazi, I feel bad, but if not, I feel okay. Dang. Well, I mean, with them leaving that open, it's pretty telegraphed. I think I have to consign the ability twice. Yeah, otherwise they take my turn and I lose. I can't let them take my turn. It also sucks I'm at 13. Well, now less, but... Alright. Only play. This game has gone south. Have to do the same target, right? Do I have the luxury of just taking my turn? I mean, I can heat the Karn. And then block with Tameo. It tramples. But it'll be 12 power. Yeah, I think I have to do same target. Hanging on for dear life. There's just no reason to not do that. Besides a sick bluff, you know, of course. But I don't think our opponent is doing that, for what it's worth. So I think this is my only chance. Wait, are they going to dispute this? Well, I got it out of them anyways, even though both targeted the other ability. They just countered nothing. Yup. Oh, that does suck. Now it's out of heat range. Oh, yeah, that's pretty brutal. I don't know if I'll be able to beat that. Tough, tough, tough. Everything about this game was tough. Spin that. Put this here as a blocker. I guess I can heat this now so they can't get an answer from it. Yeah, have to do it. Heat. Bring back something that's gonna die. Bring back this. Say go. Dang, this is a sick match. I don't know where I screwed up. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, I think there were spots. Maybe I could have Besaged when I saw that land on top to prevent the 4 mana. I think that was where I punted. If I would have aggressively Besaged, I'd take away 1 land from them. They get to Devour. Oh, Devour I think is lethal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's going to do it. I think that's where I lost. You know, then again, they would have had 2 lands. They would have gotten a maze. And yeah, they just would not have had 4 mana. So I wouldn't have won on the spot, but I wouldn't have lost on the spot. Yeah. Incredible games, though. The Dispute tech was nice. It's definitely nice. I still think this is a good matchup for what it's worth. I think we got a little unfortunate. And maybe didn't play perfectly here, so. Make sure they hit the right thing. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. I mean, the Dispute allowed them to have an Emrakul. If they didn't have the Emrakul, we had plenty of time to figure out an answer to this. So, yeah, Dispute was everything there. Right. So, we're going to play Tamiyo. We're going to play the Bauble. But a solid chance we do not crack the Bauble, as we want to make Emery cheaper. But there's a chance we do. But very unlikely in this scenario. Okay, Windswept Heath. Could be a couple of different decks. Alright, let's see. Black-white. Oh, this might be that black-white sewer deck. That'll be interesting to get some games against this one. Okay, Fatal Push on Tamiyo is definitely a reason to not sack Bauble. So we can go Haywire Might into Emery, or maybe just Emery. Okay. So now I'm wondering, is there any reason for us to play a Haywire Might here? I'm going to see if I can get any deck information on our opponent. I think this would be the black-white sewer deck. And I don't think so. I'd rather Surveil, actually. All right, let's see what we got. Grinding Station's in the yard, so we have the Breach, so we pretty much have this locked up. Now, it all comes down to protecting ourselves from Thought Seizes and stuff, but they already have the card they want to take. So with that being the case, I'm going to actually Bauble myself once. Saga on top is fine. I'm going to keep that as a plan B. Now, we'll see what they do. I don't have a ton of experience playing against this deck, but I'm happy we're getting the chance. So this might be like a Fila. Now, I think I will still Bauble myself. A Tamiyo on top. I think I'm okay with a Tamiyo. Now, of course, we can just go for the win. No, I guess we can't. So, since we can't win on the spot, let's not try. And let's just take that Tamiyo, and we'll play this a little more conservatively. Okay. I am going to play a Bauble. Play a Bauble. Play a Saga. Play a Tamiyo. play Haywire Mite. And pass the turn, see what they do. Maybe crack Bobble again. We'll see. Trying to just out-card advantage them. It might be like a Fila. That would make sense. Okay. Once again, we already have a good card in hand, so their Thoughtseize is already going to take that. So I don't feel too bad about bobbling. And one thing I got to be worried about is Bowmaster. I don't know if that, if this deck actually plays it. If it does, we need to be very careful about when we sack this. So I'm going to do a little research here. It is a Bowmaster deck. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to touch these baubles yet, and we're just going to untap. Because I don't want to lose Emery. Now, if they tap out at all, we're going to throw these baubles away as fast as possible to, you know, get some value out of them without them destroying stuff. They already get a good target on our Haywire Mite, so there's a chance this was wrong. But they don't really have that many good Haywire Mite targets anyways, except just the Vials, it looks like. And I guess Overlord, if they impend them, I think I can hit that. I'm not even 100% sure. We're going to learn. Okay, Recruiter. Now, what can they get at instant speed that's free? Just Solitude? I'm glad we get to play against this, though, on this video. This will be knowledgeable. Witch Enchanter. Okay. So now, though, if I don't want to flip Tamiyo, which I don't really want to right now, we can only sack one. So let's sack one, see what's up. A Breeding Pool. I don't really want that. I kind of still want to just get Stomping Ground here, though. Like, Surveil is great and everything, but, yeah. I'm just going to get the Stomping Ground. Okay, now I wish I would have flipped Tamiyo. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Now let's bring back a Bauble. Let's attack. Now, they're going to Witch Enchanter our Saga next turn. Like, sure, if that's your whole turn, whatever. All right, there's that. I still do want to play around Bowmaster, though. But next turn, we can sack both and flip this since we have another one. Another Breach? Not bad. Hard to be too pissed about this. Yeah, okay. I'm going to keep it as a little insurance. And we'll just say go. We'll make a construct. And see what's up. Witch Enchanter, of course, a good card against us, but, you know, not the biggest deal. What are you doing here? I mean, just Fatal pushing my construct? I think I bite here. I don't think they have any wraths or anything. Yeah, whatever. I'll walk into something. Just to get me to tap out, I guess? Okay, recruiter. What you gonna get with this one? Solitude? Sure. I guess, yeah, Solitude. If they have the Ephemerate, Solitude, 2 things here to get me to tap out. Reasonable. Would they exile? Okay. Not a big deal, though. It's exiled. Sure. What is the other thing you would like to exile, my Tamiyo? Okay. Now let's win the game. All right. Let's win target game, targeting this one. Okay, so tap. Get the Opal. Breach. Grinding station. Let's get to work. I guess they could have a surgical here. So we will play around that when we get to it. And I guess we can start by playing around it by not getting rid of our good cards. But when we can play around it, which will be very shortly, we will do so. But not yet. If we hit it pretty soon, then unfortunately they can just exile our Grave Shot. Okay. They did not have it. All right. So now what kind of cards do they usually bring in? They usually have just a ton. Stony Silence, Sanctum, Envec, Rest in Peace, Thoughtseize. You know, they can have a ton of it. So, I'm going to once again check my board. See what I do. All right, I like that. I like that. And I like my 4 drops. We kind of pivot in such a way where we are not all in on the combo. Yeah, the one thing I think I like a little bit more... I actually think I'll probably update this, as this doesn't seem amazing. Preordain against the Bowmaster deck for sure. And then take out the Spell Snares. I like that as well, since it's a Vile deck. But the Besejus I definitely want as well. I don't care about the Otawara. And let's bring in another one of those for... probably my grinding station. Sorry, I'm just editing that, as I do like to bring in the Besejus here, I think, when they have Stony Silence and stuff. So, let me update that. Okay. Yeah, looks good to me. Let's run it. The sideboard guide I do like to keep as a rotating guide, so it will constantly be adjusted to constantly be updating. And you can find that sideboard guide and article below. That's a pretty bad hand. I don't think we want to keep this. I don't want to mulligan a lot in this matchup, as they have Thoughtseizes and stuff, but this one's just too bad. Okay, we'll keep this, and we'll put that Haywire Might away. And let's do it. Okay, we'll get our Hedge Maze. Hopefully they don't Thoughtseize away our Rumble. Okay. See what they hit. Mill 4, put any non-avatar creature card into your hand. So they have a Recruiter. Pretty cool. But man, the fact that you can miss with that is pretty brutal. Do I want a second Saga? It's not the worst. Honestly, it's not a terrible plan against them. Just go ham on constructs. Really close. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it and see if we can win the game like that. So we're, of course, going to get one down right now. And get our Rumble on. Okay, so we have Breeding Pool or Mox. Pretty big whiff there, if I'm being honest. We'll take the Mox, though. And we'll say go. I guess I could have played it, but not that big of a deal. I'll play it next turn for sure to get a little bit bigger constructs. So I'm sure they're going to play that Recruiter they just drew. Oh, yeah, okay. Spicy. Okay, well, we'll have to kill that. And I think I'll have to kill it immediately. Which means we can't Saga, which is a bummer. Let's see what we draw. A blue Legend would be sick. God, the fact that they get a thing off that is pretty nice. It's like returns Fairy Macabre. Okay. Okay, this is unfortunate. As we're not getting value from this, but... okay, here's this. Here's this. And I'm just going to Besage it now. So they can't have any Ephemerate style things. Yep, this is a bit of a scary start. All right, we'll put this land away. We'll say go. And we'll see what we can do. So we know about Macabre. We know about a Recruiter. And they have a Reclamation in the yard, too. And they could bring back 2 things if they got it. Yep, we will allow that. Do some recruiting. Okay, Skyclave, sure. It's no big deal. And they have to hit Mox Amber, right? Nothing else does anything. So, sure. Could be nice if they have Ephemerate to be able to exile something else, but... So I will sack this Bauble while I can. We know they have 6 Gassers in hand, which is pretty good for them. We know they're going to top deck the 5th land next turn. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I think I can go for it. We need to get Mox Amber here. Mox Amber, Breach. All right, I'm going to try it. If they have the Ephemerate as well, I think I could be in trouble. But we'll try. Mox Amber. Tamiyo. I could Breach now. See what they hit. Okay. Let's Breach now. Okay. Now I can play Mountain. And I can Grinding Station. Dang, they did hit what they needed to hit, which was Unholy Heat. Now, if I try to heat this, that's not ideal. So that was pretty smart on their part. Now, I don't think I can do anything about it. Because if I play it, then they ephemerate, then I lose. So I gotta let this happen. And now I grind. Yep. Okay, they played it right. And that was the way to kind of get me here. As, yeah, they should be able to exile the breach now. Yeah, nice play on opponent. They had to play it perfectly like that if they had both of those things. And they did. Now, we're not dead, of course, but that was very good for them. If I had the Unholy Heat in hand, then, you know, we would have done some damage. Then we'll say go, and we'll see what's up. Now they get to ephemerate again, though, which is a problem. I would assume they want to take Tamiyo here. But just in case they target the station. Alright. We'll grind ourselves out. Now see what their follow-up is. We know they have Recruiter still. See what they're doing. Could definitely be the Reclamation. Fila. And probably Emperor. Which is good, but I don't think that stops the combo if we do indeed draw another breach, as we can win through that. Even if they hit the grinding station, which is probably the best thing to hit. Yeah, so breach still wins it for us. But we need to draw it right away, not off the clue. And that's okay. Okay. Well, unfortunately, they did leave back the 3-1, which is nice. But I think I still just want to get in there, draw a card, and cycle it, essentially. If we get something we can destroy the Flicker Wisp off, then that's pretty cool. We did not. Urza is not the best draw here. And this game looks to be out of reach now. As they have the Recruiter, can get something nasty. I think if they can go land 6 and go Recruiter Bogart Trawler, I bet they can do that, right? Yeah. That would be pretty GG. Yeah, if they do that, we're pretty dead. Or yeah, they get their own Overlord here. That's pretty good too. Yep, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I shall take it. Yeah, can't beat Trawler here. Let's just see if they do it. And one thing, they didn't seem to leave in a lot of removal, so I think our Veils are actually not amazing. So might take those out. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, Veil for the Trawler is actually pretty nice. All right, tied up. And let's see what we can do. So, do we want to leave in the Haywire Might? I actually don't think I do. Maybe on the play, I just want some more preordained. Just the one preordained for that. I think that seems totally reasonable. And just go with that. Yeah, let's do it. All right, game 3. Let's try to take this one down. Have a good start. Okay, good enough. I will keep. Maybe get an early Jace down. That would actually be pretty sweet. So let's go with a turn 1 Temur with our Mox. And we'll say go. Now turn 2, just Emery, make a clue, surveil land. Not amazing by any means, but totally fine. Not a good draw. Now we'll really hope they don't have Solitude Ephemerate. But I'm not going to play around it. We'll say go. And then we'll try to get this Jace down. Card on top. Okay, that's quite good. That's unfortunate. We've got a lot of Assages and ways to do something about it, but as it stands right now, that is just going to be great. Definitely don't want to draw another Opal. All right, well, Boseiju would be awesome. Rumble, that'd be good. But either way, that is, of course, the best sideboard card against us, and we're drawing not gas. So I think I'm going to get a grinding station back. If we would have been able to get Jason play last turn, I would have felt really good about this game. But as it stands, I think we're now in trouble. All right, 3 Besajus to really start doing some damage. Yeah, Haywire Might is never good against that, so it's still right to take that out. But, yeah, I mean, we'll lean on that. Or just drawing any land 4 would be great. All right. All the options. They picked up a Skyclave. Picked up a Skyclave, took some damage, and here we are. All right, big draw step. If we draw blank here and do nothing again, I feel very bad for our chances, but if we can play Jace, I feel pretty good. Or pretty okay, at least. Breach. Not what we wanted right now. I think I'm actually going to just attack. It's ephemerate. Target creature. Okay. Let's get in there. And, yeah, I guess we can't play a single thing, huh? Alright, say go. Disappointing. That was a big draw step. Yeah, drawing Grape Shot into Breach there was just terrible. Frustrating game to lose. Mm-hmm. Now, if they have the Ephemerate, they can still deal with the Jace, so it's much worse now. Okay. That's something, at least. Okay, there's the Besaju. So, we got that going for us for next turn. Plus, let's get a Bauble back. Okay. Still nothing else we can do at the moment, so we'll just say go. Be so risky to go for it. I mean, we have Unholy Heats. It's face up. But it would be good-ish. Annoying. Gets rid of the Mox. Don't care about that at all, as we do have another one. Now they'll probably get rid of Grinding Station, though, which is real. But having the Boseiju here definitely means we are online to do some stuff. Even if it's just start drawing some cards. We can do the Opal Rumble trick. So I think I will go for the win if there's no other thing played this turn of relevance. They could have a bunch of stuff, of course, but... Recruiter, okay. Now, if it's just Solitude, that's no big deal. Very macabre. That's actually not the biggest deal either. Maybe. Okay, I think we can win here. So I'm going to start by targeting this Opal. See what they do. Because we have the win cons in hand, I think we can still get her done. Okay, sure. Well, let's at least go for it. I'm not 100% sure if we have this for what it's worth. Now, I guess I can start by rumbling before I breach. And then I'll know if we have it. Rumble. Yeah, I don't think that screamed what we want. Guess I could get a land. All right. I'm still going to go for it, but if anything, we'll just get to draw a bunch of cards. So, we're going to be able to rumble again. All right. Red, colorless, breach. All right, let's rumble from the yard. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we wouldn't have been able to go crazy with it anyways, so that's okay. But we can, like, maybe find a breach here. We didn't, but we could get this Urza. Urza seems quite good here. Let's do that. And we'll say go. Urza unlocks a ton of mana for us. And now we're just at a spot where our battlefield's just going to be much better than theirs. Like, we can go Urza plus Jace and hide behind that a little bit. Yep, that's okay. I forgot they have that, but that's also okay. Probably, yeah, that makes sense. Admittedly, I kind of forgot they had the Ephemerate. Maybe I should have played that a little differently, but I think that's okay. Let's see what they get. Flicker Wisp. Okay. Okay, probably getting rid of the Overlord. Oh, okay. So they're gonna get rid of our graveyard. Honestly, not the biggest deal right now. So we're going to wait till they get rid of our graveyard, then do something. And I think we're going to have a nice turn here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I think we can still sack this bauble. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, now let's start going a little nuts. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's go with the Mox. And 1, 2, 3, 4. But then we're going to need blue. We're going to have plenty of blue, but we're going to want 2 red. Okay, so blue. 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 Could go colorless. Then I'll have access to 2 red. That sounds good to me. Urza. Okay. Now, let's go blue, 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 Jace. Let's draw a card. Okay, so this would be for 4. I think that's pretty good. All right, Grape Shot for 4. Let's go here. Target the Trawler. And get the Skyclave out of here, I guess. Maybe I don't care about the Skyclave. Yeah, whatever. We'll get the Skyclave out of here. All right. Boink. So much better than Oracle in this kind of situation. This mid-range plan's looking pretty solid. Urza showing its stripes. I love that. We'll attack. We'll say go. Now we got heat for whatever they do. And I feel in complete control. This is a nice match. The leg's unbearable. I'm kind of just been tilted this whole video, y'all, of just how slow this is. Like, this is such a longer video than I like to make, but whatever, here we are. What are you going to Fila? Okay. I mean, Fila can destroy something, but I'm just going to be okay for that for now. Can take out my construct, which I don't want to happen, so I'm going to prevent it when we get to combat, but they might do this Emperor Bones plus land type thing, and then I would have liked to control that. Okay. It adapts for 2. So, we're going to let it go to adapting. All right. Now they can Philo away the construct, but I don't know that's good enough. Because I can just block it. Four, five, six. Not going to have lethal on the crackback. So we will want to block it. Yep. Kill the good dog. Overlord comes back. We have the answer for it. And we have a bunch of cards we can draw. All right, let's draw with Jace. Okay, let's heat this. 1, 2, sack a clue. Oh, crap. Should have tapped it. I think you can do that. Okay. Does that do it? Probably. Storm count 1. Yeah, okay. Let's go like this. Blue. Breach. Mox. Double grape shot. And we'll have it locked up. Okay, that does it for this video. Nothing overly impressive with the 1-1 finish, but I think, you know, the match we lost was very close against Eldrazi. Opponent played great. There were some spots where maybe we could have played better. And then another sweet match up against the black-white mid-range deck there. And we got to showcase Urza's power level there as it just looked incredible. And those games when they have all that hate for the graveyard, you pivot to have Urza as this game plan that's also an answer for Stony Silence. Now, you know, we also dealt with the Stony Silence with the Besejus, so, you know, plenty of answers there. Oh yeah, sweet. That's right, okay. We were missing cards, so sorry about the beginning of the deck tech, as that was not all the Sideboard cards we were talking about, but whatever. There were the other two with the 2 Besejus and that Pithing Needle as well, so I think this showcased, you know, the range we have and the fact that Urza still a good card. And to be fair, Urza, I think, is a card that is not as impressive unless you're playing a mid-range match where your opponent goes so far deep on stopping you from comboing. Then Urza gets to be really good. And the thing is, the main matchup where Urza's doing that, where Urza is really good, is the Boros energy matchup where they're bringing in all that hate. So Urza's also good against this Orzhov mid-range deck, just collateral damage there, but Urza is really for the Boros mid-range deck after they bring in Stony, Surgicals, Thraben Charms. All this stuff makes your mid-range plan so much better. So I love that that worked there for us. So thank you so much for watching this video. Now remember, I have that sideboard guide and the article below if you are interested in playing this deck and getting ready for your regional championship. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next video.